Good morning, everyone.
Hello, people.
Good morning.
So nice to have the Wacom Experience team in this experience with me.
We're experiencing all the experiences.
We're experiencing all the experiences.
All at the same time.
What it's like to chew 5 gum.
Well, I want to say good morning to everyone and thank you for joining 10 Minutes with 52. My name is Elaine Shea. I'm the Community Engagement Manager. Today we have the Wacom Experience team, Megan, Carter, and Christopher, who will be sharing with us how they are engaging with their community while we are socially distancing. I know that this is a tough thing to do. And relying on technology is one of the only avenues in which to keep communications and connections with our communities. So really excited to hear what you guys are doing and how the rest of our communities can learn from you.
Super. Okay, I'm gonna do a little screen share here. We have some cool photos for y'all. Hopefully this works. All right, hopefully everyone can see that screen.
We can see it.
First, thank you guys for waking up. Congratulations, you've made it to Friday. I just want to start with a little background on what Wacom is, if I could get my slides to move. Maybe. There we go.
Nice.
So, for those of you that aren't familiar with Wacom, we are a creative tech industry. We've actually been leading the way in digital pen and tablet technology since 1983, which is when we were founded over in Saitama, Japan. We are a Japanese company. I think a lot of people also aren't aware of that cool little fact. I love this slide. I love showing the kanji because there is a history behind our name. Wa in Japanese is harmony. Com is a derivative of computer. So our goals and our missions are always really rooted around bringing harmony between people and computers. A lot of our technology is, an adoption of analog techniques, but making them work in a digital world, which is super cool. Our products are used across pretty much every industry, which is really exciting. It gives us the opportunity to work with all of those amazing creatives. Main global headquarters is in Tokyo. We do have another HQ in Germany, and then our Americas HQ is here in Portland. We've been in Portland for 4 years now. It's super fun. We moved down here specifically to really root ourselves in the heart of the creative community, which is of course important to us. And out of that, actually a part, kind of a catalyst of that move was the creation of the Experience Center. For those of you guys that haven't, look at that slide advancement. There we go. Stay. Is it on the right screen? Maybe. All right. Part of what is so great about the Experience Center is that opportunity to interact in person, face-to-face with our client and customer base. This is the first time Wacom's ever done this. The Experience Center is the one of its kind. It's the only one in the world. Hopefully someday we'll get some more. But it's just a really unique space that we can inspire, educate, work with other companies, innovate new technologies, collaborate on new ideas, and really just show up to support our creative and tech community. So through that, of course, we do a ton of events, a ton of workshops, a ton of other things, which traditionally in person, pretty easy, pretty simple, right? It's just a matter of like bringing in a speaker and then getting the people to show up. So I am now going to stop talking and I'm going to hand it over to my team. Carter and Christopher are our creative specialists. They do a ton of amazing artwork for us and also freelance on the side. They're super cool dudes. I enjoy working with them. I feel like if people don't like my jokes, it's always real tough, right? But I'm going to hand it over to Carter. He's going to talk a little bit about workshops we've done in the past and kind of what those are transitioning to in a digital platform.
Yeah, so like Megan said, prior to quarantine, one of our sort of main ways to engage with our audience and the community is through different networking events, some of which have been with 52. and hands-on workshops or lectures with designers, artists, or people in the tech industry. And that's honestly one of the ways we get in most of our folks to, yeah, to engage with the space. And so losing that with social distancing measures is, something, it's kind of a big blow for the initiative that we're trying to take on. So a way for us to water that relationship with our community has been through these sort of digital lectures, not unlike this one that we're doing right now, but the ones we're doing are more akin to our workshops or process sort of showcases. So using software in this little picture here, this is Christopher and I in our respective streams doing like a digital illustration workshop. We do motion graphics, we do photo editing, those types of things that are fun to look at and very visual. And we've been doing this via Twitch for the most part. So for those of you who don't know, Twitch is a social media platform similar to, it's free to use, similar to Instagram or Facebook. And it's more geared towards live broadcasting. So we've been using this as a way to stay engaged with people, and the fact that it is live, you have interactions in the chat where you can respond to people and answer questions, and it's a good way to stay in touch with our base. So for that, we've been using this software called OBS, and it's fairly easy to use. Only took us a day or so to figure it out, and it's really user friendly. So I would highly recommend that. Sort of our next steps is to, a lot of these Twitch streams have been, us showing our process. And it's a kind of a one-sided, it's a follow along, it's kind of a tips and tricks tutorial. And so our next steps is how we can really recreate the kind of hands-on workshop feel that we were used to. And part of why that is great is so you can come over to someone's workstation and help them troubleshoot an issue that they're having. So we are looking to things like Zoom and its ability to screen share and do the kind of remote control where if someone is having an issue in, say, After Effects, a animation software, I could log into their desktop and control their cursor and help them kind of get unstuck, which is really easy to do in those particular programs. So that is sort of our process in this over the course of the last few months. And we are excited to kind of further develop these. And I think they're going to stay a part of our program after things return to normalcy in the workplace. So because it gives us a chance to reach a community beyond just Portland. So speaking on that community aspect, hand it over to Mr. Chris Diego.
Great, thanks, Carter.
Yeah.
Cool, does my video pop up? Maybe, am I here?
Yes, we can
Cool.
see you, and we can see the next slide.
Cool. All right. Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah. So the Wacom Experience Center has always been dedicated to community outreach. That's kind of our thing. We host events all the time in our space, but we can't do that right now. So we want to be able to continue connecting the creative community, even if we can't be together. So what we've started doing is a series of videos that highlight the creative process. And we want to do the creative process for a few different reasons. One, it's unique to every artist, but it's something every artist goes through. Whether you're a 3D designer or a concept artist, everyone has their own way of making something. But it's also, we go through the same emotions of creating something, even if we do it in different ways. So we thought that was a really interesting approach. Yeah, so people really enjoy, like, especially emerging artists, they really like seeing what programs professionals use and what materials they're interested in. They give unique insight into the lives of artists, and providing context into how art is created is both educational and it's inspiring. So we thought that was a pretty cool approach. Yeah, and so because we're doing these over Zoom interviews now, we can really expand our connections. Like in the same week, we can have an interview from Portland, but also do one from the Czech Republic. It's really great when we can highlight our Portland community, but this is really a way that we've been able to expand our community even faster. Yeah, so one interview we did was a 3D artist from Leica, and the next we had an animator from LA, and the next one we had a concept designer from the Czech Republic. Yeah, and because we've done so many interviews at this point, we've actually started creating compilation videos, which has been really cool because they're all answering the same question. And the question that we've been posing is like, what tips and tricks would you give to an emerging artist or like young artists? And that's been really cool to see the different answers that people are giving, because everyone has their own take on this, but it's also interesting to see the similarities that professionals give. Yeah, some challenges that we've been facing, like learning interview techniques has been really fun for me. I like interviewing people. I like being behind the camera a lot, so that's been really great for me to do. It's different, obviously, over Zoom, but you still have to learn those interview techniques. Gathering footage is also really tough because I can't go into someone's studio and get footage of them working. So I have to rely on them giving me footage. Editing has been really fun, and another challenge, coordinating with artists. But like for me, the biggest one is practicing good Zoom etiquette. And hopefully I'm doing a good job today. But 52, I just want to mention 52, you guys have put out great videos on how you can improve your Zoom calls. And I've actually gotten a few good tips and tricks from you guys. So I want to highlight that. And yeah, so that's what we've been working on. And now Megan is going to show you how we've been doing this from home.
It's silly and hilarious, but I love it at the same time. This is how we each work from home. So thankfully we do work for a tech company, and we all either were able to take equipment home or had equipment. I swear I love having 3 screens. I don't know, it's necessary at any given time, right? But that's a little behind the scenes. And that's it. I thank you guys for listening. Follow us on social media. If you guys are interested in Twitch, shameless plug, Carter's doing a live stream this afternoon at 3. We have this really hilarious kind of gamified battle bracket that he works on that's super fun to watch. He'll create all the characters in Photoshop and then import them into After Effects and animate them live. There's a couple polls that we have up on Twitter and Facebook, so you can vote for who you want to win, and then he'll animate whoever the winner is. So that's at 3 on our Twitch stream today. And yeah, stay tuned. We've got actually a lot of really great stuff coming up with artists around the globe, and so it's exciting to be able to share that with everyone.
What's the best way for the community to find out your calendar of events? Is it on the Wacom Experience Center Instagram page?
Yeah, social media. So we try to cover all of the social medias. Most of our audience really does follow us on Instagram, so there are notifications that go up there in Instagram stories and in posts. We do list all of our events out on Facebook events as well, hoping in the future that we have a landing page that also lists our events out. But right now, really just social media is the best. So whether you're on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, we try to make sure we're posting everything everywhere. Yeah.
I really commend your efforts. I mean, as a company that is historically hosting events on a regular basis, it is definitely really hard to move into this virtual space.
It's tough.
It's not the same, right?
No, and I mean, that's one thing that's been fun and difficult with Twitch is there is this live stream. There is this comment section that comes and people will ask questions. People will make comments of like, oh, that's super cool. What button are you using? I mean, it kind of runs the gamut of questions. But it's just it's not the same. And I know for me, sitting and watching the guys teach their classes, if you can't just go over and like physically show someone in Photoshop or After Effects where a button is, it's really tricky. So trying to figure out how to adapt that, if it's things like the remote control option that we have in Zoom, kind of tapping into some of those other cool little tech features that might help kind of create that. Yeah, and then hoping someday in the future we can see people again.
Yeah. I mean, in the absence of events and using, technology, I think one of the advantages is expanding your community as you have spoken about, right? Now, it's not just Portland, it's not even just stateside. You're able to go to international, and it's great content for, after the event to share with people who couldn't make it. Like I'll definitely be sharing this video so that people can learn more and they can kind of participate as they are available or participate passively via, a recorded instance. So
right. And it is one of those things too that once we are able to reopen and start slowly inviting people back into the space, we're going to continue doing things either on Zoom or Twitch or whatever platform seems to fit whatever we're doing, just because there's so much value in sharing and being able to loop in the greater global creative community, not having to ask people to fly across the world, but then just have them come into an event or come into a talk over something like Zoom is it's exciting. It definitely opens up kind of those barriers that maybe were there before.
Thank you guys for taking the time to join us today and for sharing the tools that you're using. I encourage everybody to visit the Wacom Experience Center Instagram page and follow them as they're doing really cool stuff. And it's just nice to see your faces and have the opportunity to chat. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Elaine.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Happy Friday.
Thanks.